Plaintiff Virginia Hill says her granddaughter was married to the defendant, and Virginia believes they started having issues due to the defendant's drinking and gambling problems. Virginia is suing her granddaughter's ex-husband for an unpaid loan. Defendant Charles Skidmore says after he met Virginia's family, he discovered they like to party and use drugs, which he was against. Charles insists his ex-wife should be held equally liable for the loan.
Prove your case.
My granddaughter, was married to CJ. And when they first got married, they had a pretty good marriage. And down the road, they, started having a little bit of problems. And CJ got offered a job in Elko. It was a better job for him. So he moved his family to Elko. And I understand that they had some problems there.
What do you think? That was a result of the stress and pressure of everything? Or?
I don't believe that. I believe it was more of maybe a drinking and gambling problem because Reno does have 24 hours of both.
When did they finally divorce?
Can I ask Jennifer?
Sure. Why don't you come on up, Jennifer? You tell me a little bit about this as well. State your name for me.
Jennifer Carroll.
What year did you all divorce?
We just got a divorce this year.
Okay, what year did you first separate?
A year ago.
Okay, good enough. That all? Is that all? Good enough. We can have a seat. All right, let me get a little background from him before we get into the loan.
If you would like.
Or if you'd like to talk more. Go ahead, sir. Okay. Give me some background.
So about 6 years ago, I believe, is when me and Jennifer met. We both worked together. We both worked at Walmart. I worked on nights. She worked during the day. Probably when I first met her side of the family, we didn't really hang out or meet or go out to dinners or picnics together, so there was kind of fault on both sides. When me and Jennifer first met, she was kind of a party girl. Mm-hmm. A lot of people in her family were the same way. I'm not that kind of person.
Okay. But you could take her somewhere other than to a party. Take her to dinner.
But there was drug use and things like that were there.
Not in the restaurant.
I don't like those. Well, I don't like those things around me, and she wanted to get away from that aspect of it. So
she would take it to the restaurant?
She quit hanging around with her family so that they didn't have that around her.
All right.
So she kind of pulled back from her family and always kind of felt like they blamed me for it.
Gotcha.
Like they looked at it as, her mom even told me before that I had taken her away from the family.
Sir?
So the hard times that we'd fallen on is me and Jennifer had gotten married, we got pregnant, we were about to have our son, and I had a small little two-door Saturn. Tiny car, you barely get a car seat in the back of it. So we had pressure.
Financial issues?
Well, we had pressures from my side of the family as well as from her side of the family, mainly great-grandma, about us getting another car, something bigger or something for the family. So we went down to a car dealership. We're looking at a car. We traded in my car. They gave us $2,500 for it. The car that we wanted was, I believe, around $6,000. So they wanted $1,000 cash on top of it. No, I didn't have it.
You all were both working at Walmart. How much were you being paid?
She was pregnant. She wasn't working.
How much were you being paid at Walmart?
At the time, I was making about $14 an hour.
Okay. Full time?
Full time, 40 hours, 44 hours a week.
Medical insurance and benefits?
Yep.
Okay.
We also had, her mother was living with us. Her sister was living with us, her little brother was living with us, and her sister's daughter were living with us, and I paid all the finances.
Good.
So to say money was tight was kind of an understatement.
Right.
So we went to great-grandma, and great-grandma gave us a $1,000 loan. At the time, I believe she said we'd pay $50 back of that a month.
All right, that's the loan we're getting into?
That's the loan that we're getting into.
All right, let me allow her to tell me about the loan.
I'm not real familiar with it because it was a loan to my mother. And my mother passed.
From your mom to him? Okay.
That was started.
She passed? Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
When did she pass?
10 months ago today.
Okay.
But
are you the executor of the estate?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Because that's the only way you would be able to represent
I have a paper saying
her debts today.
Yes.
Okay.
But before she passed in the hospital, she told me to make sure that I collected the money. My mom was thinking right down to the very last minute.
I like her. Say, get the money, baby.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, she knew that if I got it, that it would be used to help Jennifer and her sister. CJ was wrong. He was supposed to pay my mother $100 a month.
Okay.
That was
Not-
that was
not
decided.
fifty.
after
What does the
second
total
loan.
amount do in your opinion?
$2,190.
And how do you come up with that number?
The deductions for the monies that he had paid. My mother was very meticulous.
Let's see it. Sir, what do you say about the loan?
The $100 were decided after the second loan was taken out, after we'd moved to Elko. And because we still had an outstanding balance with the last one, great grandma decided she was going to write up a contract where me and Jennifer would pay back $100 a
Who
month
has
on
that
it.
contract?
That's the contract.
Okay, this is the amounts.
Yeah,
So,
and there's
okay, here's a note. As of I agree, Arlene and Jack, $2,690, beginning with the dates of January and the last of 15 days of each month. Therefore, I will pay her on the amount of no less than $100 per month. And how much have you paid?
It was every month from then on until June.
And you don't know how much that is.
I believe it was $600 to $700
You believe,
at a
you're
minimum.
not sure.
We had receipts for it that we
Okay.
had.
The
in a
reason I'm
storage
asking
unit.
you in this manner is because she's going to say she's sure. And I have to rely on the person who's sure and who says they're sure and who perhaps has some notes versus the person that says, I'm not sure. I paid her some money, but I'm not. I think it might have been, perhaps it was.
It was every month from when that was signed until
I don't
June
know how
of
much
last
that
year.
was, and neither do you. You said, I think it was 6 or 7. So I'm going to have to rely on what she says.
Okay.
Why don't you agree you should pay?
I never once stipulated that I didn't have to pay it. What I'm arguing on it is that that was a loan to me and my wife. The reason that I was the only one who signed the promissory note on that is because I was the only one working. So Nevada's a 50-50 state on debt and everything you own. So if she gets of everything I own, she gets half of that debt.
That's what you believe? That's what you believe?
Yes, sir.
All right. And all right, all you lawyers are laughing. All right. Let's see your order. Your divorce decree, the order.
Don't have
Hello?
it with me.
You don't have it.
No, Your Honor.
That's what you have to prove that. Because the judge could very well have said, no, you pay all of this debt. Secondly, if it's not addressed at all in the divorce decree, perhaps you didn't list it, and so the judge never addressed it, then it remains as it was agreed upon. So we have to go with what we do know about the 2190. Counselor, $2,190 you must pay her. Have a good day, or the
Thank
estate.
you.
Have a good day.
Thank
Judgment
you.
for the plaintiff.
CJ, I think that you should have manned up. You didn't do right by my mother.
And you know what? I told you that I would pay that loan back.
No, you didn't. You told me you would not pay it.
I told you once I started working again, I would be more than willing to make the payments back to you.
Before you do this again to somebody else, don't think twice.